Oh no. And now you did hit record.
I
Oh, so
can't
now I have to
gotcha,
start again.
yeah.
Darn
I
it. I know because she tells me she's
Mhm.
in my head saying recording has started or recording in progress.
Gotcha. Doesn't work like
Sneaky, sneaky Helen. The
that.
paper.
Yes. Tell me your
I,
thoughts and feelings. It's coming up this week. When we
I
publish
know.
this episode, it will be tomorrow, the
Oh,
paper, right?
okay.
Right? If we
Okay.
publish this
That's
Wednesday,
right. Because it comes out
the
Thursday.
hmm
Which you know what? I'm pretty sure The Office was
it
Thursday nights
was
too.
Thursday. Oh,
Mm.
what comedy night done right?
Right.
I wrote a paper in college for my first like pithy college paper of like critique, make an argument. It was called Comedy Night Done Wrong. And I
Oh,
critiqued like racial stereotypes and things that were
oh,
represented in yeah, The Office
so many.
among a
I
couple other
know.
shows.
I know. It's
Yeah.
yeah, you couldn't, I mean, it's been said many times
Yeah.
before, you could not make that show
No.
today.
No.
Um, it I have mixed feelings. So Oscar's in it,
Right. Is he the only original cast member? He's the only one that's been in the commercials.
to my knowledge.
I haven't done any research.
I don't, well, and I've kind of stayed away. It's
Yeah.
so I haven't watched the British Office.
Yeah.
The original, I shouldn't even
Mm-hmm.
say the original Office.
Mm-hmm.
Because I watched the American version first and just fell so in love with it that and I know it
Mm-hmm.
forwards and backwards. I don't even know how many hundreds of times, it's not even an exaggeration, thousands, I don't know, hundreds of times I've seen each episode
Mm-hmm.
because that's my go-to. I quite literally fall asleep to it
Mm-hmm.
and have for years. And I started watching it when it was on. I was in college at the time when it was on. So I'm torn on the
Yeah.
paper because I just love The Office so much. I almost didn't start watching, so I have Peacock
Mm-hmm.
and they do those extended, like not bonus episode, but like
Yeah.
bonus,
Extended cuts.
content,
Yep.
extended cuts.
Yep.
Thank you. And I was resistant to it
Mm-hmm.
because I
It's
knew
not
that it
what
was
you
going to
know.
change.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, I would not fall asleep because it'd be like, "What? A new line? What is this?" And so it
Wake you up in the dead of the night.
started
Yeah.
messing with my sleep because
Fair.
I fall asleep to the same thing. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I
Yeah.
might, I might, I might just watch it and
Mm-hmm.
see how I feel.
Is it going to come out weekly or like all in one
I don't know.
lump? I imagine weekly. I mean, that would
I
make the
would
most
rather
sense
it
for them, I feel like. I would
weekly.
hope, yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
don't want to binge it and then be like, "Oh, that was a waste of
hmm
6 hours."
And I don't want to, if I like it, I also don't want to binge it. I like,
Right.
I like having a
Yeah.
show that I look forward to
Yes.
every week. So stay tuned. Maybe this
Maybe
will become
maybe I'll try it.
the Millennial Mom spinoff, the paper watch
I
show.
know, but I just love The Office
I
too
know.
much.
I
It's
know.
incorporated into basically every day of my life. I somehow relate to The
Yeah.
Office. That might be lame. I don't know. Don't judge me, people. Anyways, shall
Anyways,
we
what's
jump
up? What's
into?
up? What's
Yeah,
up?
there you go. Shall we get back on track to our normal intro?
Let's get into it.
All right. Well, welcome everyone to another episode of Millennial Mom Thoughts.
What's up? What's up? What's
Hey,
up?
there it is. Well, today we get to you know what I should have done is gotten a little you've got mail.
Ooh,
Little
I mean, that was
may,
good in itself.
oh, should I, you've got mail. Okay. The little audio bite. Maybe you
hmm
could incorporate that, but yeah,
Maybe,
that was
maybe
all
I'll
right. I don't
figure
know.
that out.
You've got editing skills. Because we have some two
Ah,
emails that we've received to our millennialmomthoughts.podcast@gmail.com email
beautiful.
address, and we thought we would not read them word for word, but kind of
hmm
address the general topic
Yeah.
that each emailer was going
hmm
into. And the first one was kind of more specifically addressed to me since I brought it up. I think in episode 2. I actually didn't write that down. I
hmm
should have. But I talked about um, wanting the ability to like check the apps
Hmm.
on my child's iPad, which I already have. I think I've mentioned I already have issues that he has a school iPad, but that's another episode topic. Um, and this emailer, which I should probably even just bring up the email so
Yeah,
that I can.
I've got it up here if you want me to kind of summarize it. I don't know. Did
Yes,
he
that
say
would.
anything he wanted to be anonymous, or I can say
I don't think so.
this
Yeah,
is from Sydney, who I
yes.
know from grad school at
Thank
in the
you.
Complet program at IU. You all probably know him from the Go Kvetch podcast.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yes.
the only podcast on the internet where two or three white people complain about things, I believe is their tagline. It's something to that extent.
Okay.
Anyway, though, he wrote in with a what's up, long time millennial, first time mom thinker here, which
I
I
did
love.
like that. I did like
Yeah.
that.
But basically was wondering about that issue you brought up and wondering how we think about that in relation to the dramatic increase in book bans, as
Right.
those are, initiated by groups, as he said, of fanaticists of various stripes. He's concerned about providing an additional avenue for these people to limit their children's access to information. And furthermore, any tool or approach that a concerned parent might use to try to protect their child from any particular type of content online could just as easily be employed by a bigoted parent to prevent their queer or trans child from accessing information, positive representation, or community. Which, yeah, I think are all really important questions to ask. And you went ahead and responded. So if you want to share first, and I can chime in as well.
Yeah, I recognize that after reading that, I think I said to you at first, I was like, oh no,
Hmm.
I stepped in it, I said something and I don't want someone to think I'm trying to look at apps in order to on the same level as like banning books, but
Hmm.
um I come at it from the perspective of like the data harvesting and privacy
Hmm.
and understanding what apps have access to what data about my kid. And also, I can't remember if I specifically said it on the podcast yet or not, but like the gamifying
Hmm.
of apps and learning, or the gamifying of learning, and how that I think after all these things I've started reading and learning more about with ed tech, it does a disservice to, the the pencil and paper, methods
Hmm.
basically. Old school techniques now. I can't believe old school techniques is like writing with a pencil, but um and how gamifying makes learning, like reading a physical book, boring. And my concerns with just my own kid and seeing his interactions, I mentioned before, he doesn't get an iPad. He doesn't have access to a screen, his own device. And just knowing that he is going to be so drawn to that. And I worry
Hmm.
about those transitions from, okay, iPad time is done, or this thing that we're doing on the iPad is done, and how certain apps are going to, like,
Hmm.
that's going to be difficult. Anyways, so I was more looking at the kind of the data and privacy
Hmm.
aspects of what information is being collected and who has access to that.
Hmm.
I recognize that the school is having information about my child. I enrolled him, I
Hmm.
consented to that, but I didn't consent to whatever ABC app that has to be used is like
Hmm.
now getting information about my kid. And I brought up the example of an app called Seesaw, which
Hmm.
I originally I loved,
Hmm. Yeah,
because
I've
it
used that, I think just one semester, and then I was overwhelmed by it all, but go on.
well, my only use was from the preschool
Hmm.
program, and it was just a way for them to share, like, here's what we did. It was
Hmm.
pictures and little videos, and as someone who's like, what's he doing at school? And I miss him. He's in preschool. And so it was a
Hmm.
fun way to see that. Well, now I am worried because I think I don't remember which podcast I listened to about this, but there's like an active lawsuit
Hmm.
because Seesaw, that like a third party has that information, and
Hmm.
I don't want that, those files about my kid and
Hmm.
pictures of him and video and audio of his
Hmm.
voice going to who knows where, or being uploaded on.
Hmm.
Speaking of AI, I know we're going to get there eventually, but being used, and I did not consent to that.
Hmm.
So those are my concerns.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
necessarily the content that's being delivered, it's how it's being delivered, and then how information about my kid is being
Hmm.
used, or all of that.
Yeah, no, 100%. And it's so tricky though, because I do understand the reasoning of like I think we all understand that a book is a text, an app is a tool. Like these are two different things we're
Yes,
comparing here, but it is also very nuanced and hard to draw that line of, if we are able to limit one of these, how do we draw that line to not
right.
limit the other? So I totally see that. And I think there is a lot to that question. I don't know.
Yeah,
Um, but I think yeah, to me, so much of it to me, I want to say that it just comes down to like trusting teachers, like
yes,
and in my position, as a teacher educator, like taking on that responsibility to, foster that criticality and awareness in teachers so that they are not just defaulting to using apps as a tool because it's convenient, because it is an option that presents itself and is convenient and nice, but to really investigate issues just like that, just thinking
right.
about, okay, what am I able to find out about where the data is coming from and where it could potentially be going? Because I do think that that is a super serious issue. Obviously, the smallest children like have no sense of that at all, but high schoolers also
Exactly,
cannot make an informed choice. And so we have
exactly.
to take on that responsibility to do the extra work. And I know that it's more and more work
Well,
every
yeah, I don't know that a
every
teacher could who,
hmm.
with the amount of apps,
Hmm.
it was something like the average kid has access to like
Hmm.
150 apps on their school issued devices. And I understand there's a tech team,
Hmm.
typically. I would I I don't know how many people it is certainly in our district. I can think of at least two right now, but it's probably more. But even that number of apps, just to
Hmm.
know those intricate details of
Hmm.
privacy and kind of where information is
Yeah.
going, it's it's not a knock on the people that are
Hmm.
doing that work.
Right,
I
right.
just think it's just so challenging to be able
Hmm.
to even keep up with that. And it's changing. You think
Hmm.
about on our iPhones when it's like we get a software update, like you now agree to all of this stuff. You know how you
Okay.
agreed to that stuff before? Well, now there's this new stuff. Who
Yep.
is reading through it? No, and then you
Accept,
can't move
accept. I
on.
just want to see pictures of my baby.
Exactly. But then it's like your phone
Yeah.
is
Yes.
bricked
Yeah.
until you hit
Yeah.
yes, I
Hmm.
agree, or
Hmm.
whatever app is said, or even Gmail is like
Yeah.
added something new. Anyways,
Yeah.
so
I know. Everything.
those are
Yeah.
my concerns.
Yeah. No, I know. And I just wanted to add too that there is COPA. I don't know. Are you familiar with COPA,
Yes.
COPA compliance? I don't know enough about this thing. I just know that it exists, that there is some level of privacy protection rules
I
that
think there's
schools
ways
have
to
to
get
comply,
around.
but of course there always
Yeah.
are. It's
Yeah.
just an always evolving issue. Um, so
Yeah.
yeah, there's that. And I think I wanted to just tag on to what you said on gamification too, because I'm not wholly against gamification in the classroom, but I think there are different strands of it, different versions. Because
Yes.
like, yes,
Yes.
solely relying on apps such as Duolingo that feed into that like instant gratification, gamification type of learning. What we used to
Maintaining a
do with
streak,
maintaining a streak, what we used to do
yeah.
with like flashcards, which is a form of game in itself, just doesn't have
Right.
quite as many bells and whistles, but really just fosters memorization like that. Yes, problematic issues, but in terms of like tapping into youth into kids and adolescents like sensibilities of competition and of
Yeah.
engagement, like I think there are ways of gamification in those like IRL interactions
Yeah.
that can happen in the classroom
For
as
our
well,
listeners
but
that don't know what IRL is,
in
it
real life.
in real life.
Thank you. Yes.
Mostly, well, my mom's pretty hip,
Yeah.
but I would like to just point out IRL means in
Yeah.
real life.
That's
Um,
absolutely. Do you want to sandwich in your mom's comments
oh,
that she
yes.
sent us
Yes.
before we get to our other email?
Speaking of other listener comments, so my mom texted me today. Just the opening text was, some girl in third grade called you in the old house to tell you that Tupac had died. Wow. And she also put
So,
3 question marks and an exclamation point. But she said, I only have episode 5 to listen to now. She went back where she jumped ahead to 6 and then went back and listened to 2, 3, and 4. And she said, you guys are such a good blend. It's in all caps, really good. Keep up the good work. So shout out, Mom, for the
pats on the
very
back. Yeah,
sweet,
thank you so much.
sweet
That's so nice
review.
to hear. It
You
really
could leave
is.
that review on our app, but then I'd have to teach you how to do it. So, or on our podcast, but I'd have to teach you how to do that. So,
Yes. But
um,
reviews get views. I don't know
yeah,
if I might have just made that up. I'm sure I've heard it somewhere. I'm sure a
yeah.
thousand people have said it, but that does
I've
help
never heard it. I've never heard it.
boost visibility. So leave us that 5-star review.
Exactly.
And then we got another email. If you wanna, this listener wishes to stay anonymous, but I don't know if we want to
Yes.
read the email in its entirety or just summarize here.
Yeah, I this is a local business owner in our area that responded and just said basically it is a business owner. Did I say
Mm-hmm.
that just now?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. My
You're
brain
fine.
just like what words just came out of
Yeah.
my mouth. Is a local business owner in our area and talked about how from our attention and focus episode
Mm-hmm.
said that they agree with us and that this episode hit them more as an employer of people because critical thinking skills and then she said, as well as normal life skills for a new college grad are at an all time low. I've seen the decline over the last 5 to 10 years. Handwriting, basic math skills. Now, critical thinking and communication skills are lacking. So she talks more in her place of business about having to teach new
Mm-hmm.
employees the basic skills like talking on the phone,
Mm-hmm.
writing professional emails, or text responses, and then how she can, in the interview process, better assess those skills from potential new hires.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was also talking about how she had a recent teacher friend who was talking about, I think it was her student teacher,
Mm-hmm.
was afraid to go on interviews. And so she did like a Zoom interview, never met with the school. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what kind of school, but face to face, and then like took the job without ever having gone to the school or
Mm-hmm.
met anybody face to face or seen anything about the school in person
Mm-hmm.
because they were so afraid of the interview
Mm-hmm.
process. So I think not only the attention and focus piece, but yeah, oh my gosh, just thinking through the interpersonal skills, oh, and
Mm-hmm.
communication skills and like
Yes.
how that has been so greatly impacted
Mm-hmm.
by our rectangles.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I brought it up at another point about how I have students and the anxiety surrounding using the phone.
Mm-hmm.
A couple times already this semester, I've had some students that I've helped use the Rose Holman homework
Mm-hmm.
hotline. Did you ever use that? I don't know if that was
Mm-mm.
even a big.
I've heard of it, but I don't know
So
much
it
about
was
it.
definitely more in India because Rose
Sure.
Holman's in
Well, yeah,
Indiana.
yeah.
So I knew about it. And then I think as a student, and I think this has been around for a while, but then as a counselor, I would
Mm.
recommend it to students. They give free live math
Mm.
and science homework help,
Well,
which
that's
is awesome.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Is it like
Oh,
student employed at Rose Holman, I would imagine? Is
yeah,
that
there's
like student
student
tutors? That's
tutors
really
and
cool.
it is so they do a chat like you can do it online, but
Yeah.
I prefer for me, I prefer the phone. And what I like is that they have a link that you can like upload a
Mm.
screenshot if there's a certain, worksheet you're working on
Mm-hmm.
or send a website like here's what I'm working on. So they're not giving you the answer, but then they have the problem right there in front of them and they can talk it through with
Mm-hmm.
you one on one and it's great. I will say, some tutors are certainly better equipped than others,
Mm-hmm.
even with some of their like
Mm-hmm.
interpersonal skills. But I have students that they they don't know how to say like hello,
Mm-hmm.
this is what I'm working on.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am there with them and I'll say, I have a student that I'm working with and they
Mm-hmm.
have trouble with this. They're going to now explain to you what
Mm-hmm.
they're stuck on. But
Mm-hmm.
that initial like how do I start a phone call
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
is it's real like
It
they're
is.
really struggling.
Yeah, no, and everything that listener said like so deeply resonates as a college professor too. It's like I see this,
Yeah.
and I think
Yeah.
one of the biggest struggles I have had in my professional transition from high school teacher to college professor is that you don't get to see them through all 4 years, whereas like in high school, yeah, you don't have the same students every semester, but like there's some
Yeah.
semblance of you can see that growth, or you can, I don't know, more of the community, who their other teachers are, you can set expectations and whatnot. Whereas college students on either end, I teach freshmen where like I'm here, we're gonna go through how to write a professional email. I'm going to literally, so here's an example of gamification. Later this week, they'll do a scavenger hunt on campus that ends in my office because I need them to physically, like, to not let that be the limitation of like,
Oh,
I don't know where it is. I don't know how to
yeah.
get there. Like, nope, we're gonna go there together. You're gonna like enter this space with me so you know where it's at, and like try to and really just like break down that intimidation because it's not like they
Yeah.
know how to find a building, but my office is kind of tucked away on a second floor where you have to pass like a welcome desk and probably
Mm,
talk to those people and tell them where you're going. So like I
yeah.
plan to legitimately walk 15, 18-year-olds through that space and like, model the greeting and everything so they know how to get to me and that it's not intimidating, and setting up appointments at the writing center, and all that kind of stuff. But what I was getting at is that like, but then I don't know how far that goes after my class. Like there's only so much I
Yeah.
can do. And then it's like, okay, I release you off into the rest of college. And then on the flip side, when I have juniors and seniors, sometimes they're at a point where it's like, oh, like we have so much to not, I don't want to say recover, but just like they're still lacking so many skills that you just
Yeah.
don't know who dropped the ball on that one, or where, it's like that's what I
Right.
almost want to know. It's yeah, I don't know. So, and there's
Yeah.
also, you and I keep kind of kicking the AI can down the road, and
I
we're going to get
know.
to it. And this is
We
one place
are.
where maybe we should make a plug as well, that like send us your questions or what
Yeah.
topics, because there's obviously so much we can
Yeah.
dive into around AI, but we're getting to it. In our next episode, we're manifesting this right now. We're gonna, because we want to feel a little more prepared than either of us do, because we have so many questions
Well, I'm like,
ourselves to
what
even,
is it?
yeah,
That's my
yes, yep. And that's my homework because I
yeah.
sort of know,
Helen's
but
gonna figure it out.
I need to articulate these thoughts a bit more. But there's studies out now, and I need to find the one to back this up and bring it in, that like students or college grads entering the workforce do not have the critical thinking skills that they need.
Yeah.
And that, just confirms everything that we anecdotally suspect, but
Right.
there's evidenced research now that they are outsourcing their work through college and then entering jobs and then losing those jobs because they don't have the skills to keep up, which is so sad. And then it's like, so why are you spending money on a college degree if
Yeah, if you're just going to
it's,
plug everything
yeah,
into
yeah.
ChatGPT to give you the answer, then
Yeah.
you didn't have to think through any of those
Hmm.
answers. Yeah, I think going back to just the like you mentioning, they're going to have to physically come to my office and maybe have to
Hmm.
speak to, someone at the reception desk or welcome
Hmm.
desk. I I know that those kinds of anxieties have always been there, like the
Hmm.
nervousness to talk to someone new or approach someone new or go
Hmm.
to a new
Yeah, I
place.
live that every day of my life, like jokingly, but
Right.
also very seriously. Like
Yeah.
it's,
They're
yeah.
talking to someone new. Yeah, I mean we've talked about making like adult friends and how
Hmm.
that's a challenge.
Hmm.
But I think because there is now this like comfort, I don't want to use the word comfort because that's not actually what it's doing, but this like safety net, I'm
Hmm.
just going to keep calling it the rectangle. When there's a level of discomfort or I'm unsure about something, I can pull this out and I get
Hmm.
that, basically that dopamine hit, and
Hmm.
the discomfort can go away. But it's actually making it worse because you're
Hmm.
it's avoidance. You're
Hmm.
avoiding the problem or avoiding a task that needs to be done. So much more is learned in those difficult moments and those challenges, and that's
Hmm.
where growth happens. And so just something as simple as talking on the phone, you know, like teenagers, they're not really using their smartphones for talking on the
Hmm.
phone. It's texting and then it's like recording videos and
Hmm.
uploading that kind of stuff, and then the doom
Yeah.
scrolling and all that. But
Or
I don't,
they are like this girl I was washing my hands and this girl just like is walking in the bathroom and maybe she was leaving a voice memo, maybe she was on a phone call. I don't know. Maybe it was a FaceTime for all I know because she
oh
just
yeah, yeah.
talking to it like laughing. And it's just like, okay, I'm glad you're on your phone, I guess, but also I'm so uncomfortable right
Well, yeah,
now.
I don't need to hear that. Maybe it's
Exact.
also appropriate
It's
boundaries
social
of when you
norms.
are
Yeah.
using your
Yes.
phone. Like, I don't, I mean, gosh, I do see this with adults too. There's been
Uh-huh.
times, even at the library, I'm like, you are on your phone chatting away so loud. We're
Uh-huh.
in the library.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I get that we're in the kids section, but also we're in the kids section. Can you take your phone call in another place? There's
Yeah.
study rooms.
Yeah.
Plug for the, the Morton Library study rooms. Go in there, please.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, but yeah, there's just, oh man, there's so much to that. Reading her email and thinking about the soon to be grads or current, all of that up and coming people, young people,
Mm-hmm.
20 somethings, early 20s, and the lack of those interpersonal critical thinking
Mm-hmm.
skills, and then what that does to the job market.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and what a rude awakening it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
maybe for them and then for the employers.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I can't work with somebody. I can't, like, these are not things I can teach you right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's on the job training stuff for sure, but those interpersonal skills and being able to just communicate,
Mm-hmm.
like, that's, oh man, that's a
Yep.
that's a tough one.
Yeah. And especially for me, especially as a teacher educator, it's like of
Right.
anyone, like you all need these skills, or you need to recognize that now
Yeah.
and make a really hard decision because yeah, it's
Teaching isn't just knowing your content.
right.
Like,
It's not,
you
which
have to
is
work with
mm-hmm.
colleagues. You
Mm-hmm.
have building administrators that you have to answer to.
Mm-hmm.
You have parents that you need to send emails to or
Mm-hmm.
communicate with. And I would hope that those are well crafted, spell checked, and
Mm-hmm.
anyways, yeah, I
Anyways,
I think those two emails brought up a lot
yeah,
of
they did.
topics that could be further
Yeah.
discussed.
So thank you both.
Yeah, so keep them
Thank you.
coming.
Keep them coming.
Yeah,
Yep.
we do appreciate, and it shows that we have at least now confirmed
At
three
least, yeah,
listeners.
that's right. At least
My mom
three,
and then our two emailers.
but no one yet who's taught us how to forward
I
the
know. Well, I
email.
didn't look into it. I
Me
didn't look
neither.
into
It's
it.
because
I don't have time.
we
But
gave
I
them
just
all.
I just sent it to you and it's fine.
I
It's
know.
like,
I know. I
whatever.
appreciate it. Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
one day, when I figure out what AI is, then I'll be able to.
yeah. We'll ask AI how to do it. No.
It will tell us.
That's
Maybe
yeah.
that's why I'm not doing it. I'm afraid of AI now. Um, well, the other kind of topic, if you will, or section of our podcast today is talking about the thought of how, and actually, it was inspired by a post I saw on Instagram. I think it was just the parents, or that account called Parents, talking about reminiscing about and missing a 90s childhood. Like, as a parent today, at the moments I really miss my 90s childhood is when seeing all these kids that are just constantly connected or online.
Hmm.
And the thought about the internet being a place that you used to have to physically go to. I get that the internet is not a physical place you can go to, but
But
like,
you had to go to the place to
you had to go
access.
to
Yeah.
the thing, like, it
Hmm.
was plugged into your wall. It was sitting on a desk probably.
Hmm.
I'm picturing we were always a Mac family because my dad's a graphic designer. So
Hmm.
he always had Macs. I'm picturing our first computer room Mac that was
Yeah.
purple and like see-through. Do you remember those?
Okay,
And
yes,
they
I
had different
do.
colors.
Uh-huh.
Ours was
Oh, I was so
purple.
jealous because we had a Mac as well, but ours was just like plain. I would almost call it
Well,
a
we had
off.
different
Yeah.
types. Yeah,
Yeah.
like the Apple II. He had, well, I mean,
Hmm.
that's way, way back in the 90s. But
Before I forget, did you have Fred? Like if I say Fred, does that ring any bells? No, it definitely doesn't.
well,
It was
I
a
know
word.
that
Well, I mean, Fred was the voice. Fred
I
is
was
the
gonna
name of
say
the voice because we had the
there are
word processor.
voices.
Yeah. And then we
Yeah.
would put it into Fred, which was like the same voice as the weather alert system. Like the NOAA Doppler radar
Ooh.
has indicated a severe thunderstorm warning. And so that was literally what my dad and I would just come up with these ridiculous scripts. And one time, like our most like cherished one was like about a storm in Morton, Mortinia, Morton West, Morton View, Morty Hort, and we just it's just this is probably funny to literally no one except for myself
Well,
and my dad, but
it's a fun memory.
it is a fun memory that has nothing to do with where you were going with this
No, that's okay.
conversation.
We're talking about Max. I do remember the computer voice. My sister
Yeah.
and I used to type stuff, and at
Yes.
one point we would like prank call people
Yeah.
and have the computer voice go. But gone are those days.
I was
Before
gonna say
caller
talk about
ID.
yeah, and talk about a thing. Yeah, kids, no way they're doing that. We used to just call and go, "Hi, is Helen there?" No, I think you have the wrong number. Oops, sorry. So that's as
That's the
that's as
extent of
bad
your.
as mine were. Yeah.
Okay. No, ours we would type out weird. I don't even know what we would have it say, and it would be read. And we call it was Bruce Burns. That was the name of
Oh,
our computer voice. I don't know
okay.
if we made that up or if it was
Yeah.
actually Bruce Burns. Bruce Burns. Anyways,
So
um,
funny.
so reminiscing about
Hmm.
how
Hmm.
yes, you had to physically like go sit down at your computer. It was not something that was in your pocket. And you're fast forward a few years when like AOL Instant Messenger,
Hmm.
AIM became, I don't know if those are two separate things, but AIM
No,
or AIM.
yeah, AOL Instant Messenger. That's what it
Yeah.
stands for. It's an acronym within an acronym. Technically,
Yeah.
it's American
America
Online,
Online,
which
A
how is
A
that AOL? I guess online is was it hyphen?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't
Anyway.
understand the internet back then.
Uh-huh.
I still can hear the sound, the dial-up sound. It
Yep.
was a good sound. But the idea of like setting an away message
Hmm.
and oh my gosh, the most elaborate. Now I know we are obviously age-wise a little different.
Oh, I said away
Um,
messages. Yeah.
but like the song lyrics and things that
Yes.
would have certainly been different. And I was setting away messages in college,
Hmm.
like because when I was in I started in 2004. My freshman year was 2004, and that's also the year that Facebook started. So I kind of was on this weird,
Hmm.
like we still used AIM, and then Facebook happened, but Facebook wasn't a spot where it was like leave a message, like here's
Hmm.
what I'm doing. It was just one, anyways. So I was still using AIM, away messages, but I wasn't with, it was like, here's where I'm gonna be.
Hmm.
Here's my cell phone number. Call me.
Hmm.
Not text me.
Yeah.
Call me. This is where I am. Or come find me, whatever.
Hmm.
And the idea of not being online or accessible
Hmm.
24/7 like you are now and almost expected to be. Like
Hmm.
if you text somebody, I think in a sometimes if it's hours and hours and hours that have gone by, like your instinct is to put, sorry, it took me so long to
Yes.
respond,
Every message I send to you, yes.
which I've already said, there's
I
no more,
know.
you don't
Yeah.
need to say sorry. But I think that's because we've been conditioned to think like because it's always there, like
Hmm.
you always have your phone on you, are you
Hmm.
ignoring me? But you're not, you're trying to live your
Right.
life. And so I am wanting to talk more about this kind of purposeful, like setting an away message.
Hmm.
How can I do that? I literally tried to do that. This is so embarrassing. I was trying to figure out the do not disturb
Yeah.
modes on my phone because I know there's
Yeah.
focus,
Yep.
but I basically wanted to set an away message. So
Hmm.
I was trying to have Brian, I created a specific one and like titled it like no take or screen no screen time or something like that. I
Hmm.
typed in, but because Brian is one of my
Oh,
preferred contacts,
yeah.
every time he texted or called, it came through. And
Yeah.
so then I tried to take him off of my preferred contacts and it still came through. It's like,
Oh,
well, what's the point of
yeah.
having this do not disturb mode
Yeah.
if people can still reach you? And I get you
Hmm.
can totally turn your phone off or just,
Hmm.
anyways. But I just like the idea of I would like to start setting an away message,
Hmm.
you know, in my life without having to tell people
Hmm.
I'm away and I'm not accessible.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
It's complicated,
yes, of course it is. Because there are like norms now, like social norms that you will respond, you will be available. And then when
right?
people break from that, like I get worried or it's,
Yes.
it's less of the like high
Are you
school,
mad at
like, what
me?
did I do? Are you mad at me? But it
I
is
know.
like, are they okay? Are they,
Yeah.
and I have a handful of friends that like don't reply for date. And it's actually like, no, I love that for us. Like I
Yeah.
don't need you there immediately. It is okay. But what else was I gonna say? Do you remember? I feel like it was only a number of years ago that there was driving mode. Like that was an iPhone thing for a while that you could opt
Yeah.
out of, but for a while, like it would sense that you're
The
in your car
disable.
and it would
Yeah.
disable notifications and like send an automatic text to your contacts being like, I
Yes.
am
Gosh, I
currently
forgot all
driving,
about that.
right?
That's
Because it just kind of faded away. I don't know because I was all about it. Like I am pretty adamantly like I don't touch my phone while I'm driving. Like I have a nice
yes.
convenient CarPlay
Same.
now, and that's even that I have to like it's there and you're touching buttons, and there have been times where I'm like, nope, that this is basically a phone now on
Right.
my car. But yeah, no, I cannot fathom. I do not understand why people make that choice to
It's
be
scary.
yeah, it's so scary. It is. So I'm glad I'm glad you're on board with that because it's like that's another thing that has just become normalized. It's like that's so
Well,
dangerous. Here you are with two killing machines.
yeah.
Like there's now you have
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
It's funny you bring that up. I've started back up. I think I mentioned taking walks, now that
Hmm.
Camden's in school, taking walks now with Lily, just her and I in the mornings. And I'm not kidding, on Friday I thought I need to either have a little notepad that's like attached with a
Hmm.
pen, easily accessible on my little stroller caddy, or have it on my phone and tally how many
Yeah.
cars that pass me are on their phone. It is
Yeah.
almost every single one.
Yeah.
That's not even an exaggeration. I
Uh,
walk like, well, about between 3 and 4 miles is how much we walk, just kind of in a big loop
hmm.
and up and down the streets. And I'm only counting the ones where I physically see their phone. I'm pretty sure based on
Hmm.
how the eyes are darting down
Yeah.
that they're looking at a
Yeah.
phone, but I'm not assuming on those, even though I'm
Yeah.
pretty confident they are. But the ones that are actually, I can see them looking at,
Hmm.
they're holding it up and they're looking at
Hmm.
it. And if you really pay attention, if you start to look for that, it's everywhere. It's
Hmm.
so scary. So I don't trust any driver that's
Yeah.
near me as I'm
You
crossing the
can't.
street,
Yeah.
you know, because they're not looking. They're
Mm-mm.
not, and it's not just teenagers. I mean, it
No.
is a lot of them.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, because I
Right.
walk by the high school. Um, it's not, it's, and I should start like also taking note of their general ages. I thought about making like a spreadsheet of like 16 to 18-year-old looking kid. If they're leaving the high school, then I know they're 16 to 18. And then like the 19 to 24 and making these
Yeah.
brackets.
Well,
And
I'm
my
sure it would be pretty equal across the board, though.
I
That's
think
the
it would be
thing.
too.
Yeah.
I looked at this one man, I was like, "You're like 70, dude. Like also, you shouldn't just be doing that because your
Yeah.
ability to." Anyways,
Yeah. No,
the
I know.
older you get, your reaction time slows
It's,
down. It's just facts,
it's true
people.
facts. I try not, I try to be not judgmental and just critical of many things, but with an open mind. But like, that's one place where I am very judgy and very just like, that's
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
terrible decision.
And you got kids
Cause
in the car, or
yeah,
you got kids
yeah,
walking across the
yeah.
street
No, I
going,
know.
from school. It's terrifying.
Yeah, it is terrifying. So anyway, even like on my CarPlay now, I realize there's a button I can hit on my car that like just goes to clock. So like it'll be on in the background. I can have my music playing and the GPS,
Okay.
like if I need to reference it or whatever. But more and more now, I just go to the clock because it just annoys me. I don't need all the
Yeah. Don't want to see
colors and
it.
all the things, and
It's
it's very
distracting.
distracting. It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. So
So,
setting an
setting an
away
away
message.
message. Do you remember any particular, well, your best away message? Because I don't. I mean, I remember setting them all the time. Song
I did
lyrics.
so
Mine were mostly
many.
like Midwest emo or like dashboard confessional lyrics, and
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
d depending on what the
Yeah.
mood.
I know I would
But
change the color when the option to like add color
yes,
font, and
yes.
at first it was just like the little asterisks to make
Uh,
stars.
well,
And
I
it's
was
like,
just
well,
gonna
that was
say,
creative,
did
but
you notice that in our Millennial Moms folder, like that was a very intentional choice I made. I have asterisk, tilde, asterisk at
yes.
S. Okay,
You better believe I
yeah,
noticed that,
okay,
because
okay.
that was totally an early to the late 90s, early
Yes,
2000s, whatever
yes.
text style. That it brought me back to my MySpace page, I'll tell you.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Whew.
R.I.P. MySpace. But
Hmm. Sorry,
um
Tom.
yeah. I saw something recently about Tom being like somebody was looking for Tom, and he's I think he has an Instagram account, but he doesn't use it. He's like
Uh,
travels the world and
eh,
has some travel videos.
good for him. I mean,
Anyways,
he is one of my top friends, so
yeah, good old top friends. Oh man, I wish who
also what
taught
a
us that? Like
yeah,
coding our my pre-coding skills, making our MySpace pages sparkle and play
it's
music.
true.
Um, anyways,
Anywho.
the idea of having an away message or just unplugging, and I started to really reflect, would it be possible for me to like get rid of social media?
Mhm.
But of course, yes, it is possible. But is it something that I feel like I'm going to do right now? Well, no. Um, it is a sort of a way to connect still.
Mhm.
I'm not using it hopefully as much to like do the doom scrolling since I've really been thinking more critically about this.
Mhm.
It's how I promote my
Mhm.
academic coaching business. That's it. Now more it's been more word of mouth, but I do post on Facebook and I get
Mhm.
people from Facebook. They're like, I saw your post in Mortonites and what do you
Mhm.
anyways. So I use it that way. I utilize Facebook Marketplace so
Yeah,
much
you do. You are the Facebook
as a
Marketplace queen.
as a buyer and a seller
Yeah.
for my parents selling in Indiana and then selling some stuff here. So I really do use that actively a lot. Um and so I just thought I don't know that there's a way that I could completely remove it at this point in my
Mhm.
life, but I could limit it more. I
Mhm.
don't need to be going to it when there's a break of like boredom, then be bored. Well, I'm not ever bored, but a break of like I need a mental break,
Mhm.
not filling it with just scrolling
Yeah.
on my phone
Yep.
and being purposeful for when I use it. Because I do use it to find like here's what's going on around in our area of like
Mhm.
events and things to do with Camden and Lily. Like
Mhm.
that's a huge thing that I've used it for.
Mhm.
But I don't need to use it just to scroll the endless
Mhm.
postings of who knows what, and like I just don't need to do that anymore. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's not good for me.
Well, here's what I've done. I didn't even know this was the topic we were gonna
I know.
be doing today until about like 30 minutes ago. No.
Yeah.
But just like last week, and I've done this a handful of times. I don't do it like weekly, but I really think I should after just how this past week has gone. Last Sunday, I did like a no social media, I think, and I put my phone in grayscale because I can't go totally screen free, at least like, I don't know.
Yeah.
For the most part, it's kind of hard to do. But if I put it in grayscale, that's one way that like when I look at it, it's not big, flashy, exciting thing. Like
I
I
need to
have
do
a
that.
purpose. It's like, okay, no, I am opening this thing to check the weather and I do
Right.
whatever that thing is or to message this person. But intentionally not clicking into any of my social media and then didn't like set that limiter on myself the rest of the week, but just was so much more mindful that I didn't end up opening Instagram. And then it kind of became a bit of a challenge, like an internal challenge of like, I'm gonna go all week
Oh,
with that. So yesterday was the first time I got on Instagram all week and like, did I miss anything, Jordan? Like maybe some little things. I
right.
was FaceTiming my nephew today and was like, wait a second, where'd your cast go? And apparently he got the cast off on Monday.
Oh
And
my
maybe
goodness.
there's a post about this, but maybe not. I don't even know.
Yeah, I
But
don't know. If there
so
was, I did not
I was
see
gonna
it.
say, if you don't know, then maybe there wasn't. But that was my only thought of like, wow, I didn't even know. Um, so like, but am I any better or worse of an aunt for that? It's like no,
Right.
like
No.
it's
You're
um
still calling.
I'm still calling.
You're
Yeah,
making a connection.
exactly, exactly. Yeah, so it
Well,
just makes you be more aware and again critical of your usage when you put some limitations on yourself, or at least this has been my experience,
yeah.
is that then I just catch myself being like, well, do I need to, or what else could I be doing? Because the one place where I haven't limited myself is with my New York Times games. Because that's what I
Oh,
do now. That's my
yeah. But that's not social
no,
media,
it's not
like
exactly. That's
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 yeah.
that's doing brain stuff. There's
Right.
a new game, Pips. I am
What's
into it.
that?
It's like a dominoes game. And at first, when I saw it, I was like,
Ooh.
ugh, I don't need another. I play Sudoku. I do my easy level Sudoku. I
Okay.
dabble in the medium and then I give up. But
I
it's
dabble in
like,
the
but I
medium.
love doing that because that's my numbers for the day. And
Yeah,
then dominoes, that's a similar kind of logic number puzzle. So at first I just kind of cast it off and then I played it and I was like, oh,
you're hooked.
I'm a genius. Yes, it is like the
I'm a
best
genius.
feeling.
It is
So,
fun when you win.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
Do you still do
So
Wordle? Are
I
you on?
still, yes, and I took a long Wordle break for a while, but I've been back on a Wordle kick. I've
What
been
about
especially on
Quirtle?
a spelling bee kick.
Oh, spelling
Quirtle,
bee.
what's Quirtle?
You do four at once.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Oh,
I
I
mean,
like it.
it sounds awesome.
Yeah, I like it.
This is how I am literally I don't care if it's a phone game, a board game, a like whatever game. I'm so resistant to learning new games. It'll be like, come on, let's play Risk. Oh, I don't know how to play. No, that game's dumb. I don't no, I'm not
Oh
gonna. And then
no.
give me an hour, let me figure it out, and now I'm hooked, and I
And then
love
you're
it.
in.
It happens every time.
Gosh,
But
I love board games and card games
yeah,
and
me
stuff. It's just been
too.
so long. We gotta do a game
Let's have
night.
a game night.
I don't know how
Yeah.
that's possible. We'd have
Remember
to
when we
like
did a
get,
COVID Jackbox game night? Talk about a
yes.
throwback
That was
to
fun.
5 years ago, but that was fun.
Yeah.
We had like seven different laptops
I
up
know we
and
had to
trying
use
to
so many screens to figure out how to do it and draw and oh, that
yeah.
was fun.
Oh,
Drawful. Oh man, that
yes.
was good.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, and also I made an office trivia.
you did.
That
That
was a
was,
game.
mm-hmm.
That took a lot of effort.
I
I don't know
bet.
that I could do that again.
Yeah.
Or I'll just reuse the same one. Nobody remembers
Mm.
the questions.
I do, but that's okay.
You remember
I
all of
want to
them.
win.
Yeah.
I should have won. I did pretty well, but I don't think I won.
I didn't keep track of the points. I didn't even know how many points were possible. I just was like,
It was just
if
for
there's
funsies.
people to interact with in
Yeah.
some kind of a way
Yeah.
during COVID and talk about The Office, amazing.
Yes. And, about all the things we're saying, especially talking about this generation now and critical
Yeah.
thinking and all the stuff, like obviously that is part of the issue was that period of isolation and how that became the only way you
Yeah.
could connect was through
Yeah. And how
through.
some of that it's just still here.
Hmm.
It's like it didn't leave.
And that
All
anxiety as well.
yeah.
It's like even if it's not the same anxiety of like if I'm in this space, if I cross that 6 foot threshold with this person, like am I going to get this deadly virus? Like it's not the same anymore, but there does still seem like some fear of closeness that I don't
Yeah.
quite know how to pin down, but just like what that may have changed psychologically as well is
Oh,
something I
well,
wonder about.
talking about psychological changes, check out my basement and the toilet paper hoard that's still there. That's a
I was
psychological
like, where are
change
you going
that's
with
not
this?
going away.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like we can't be low on toilet paper. That
Hmm.
changed me for life.
Yeah.
That's just never going away.
And you were playing,
Um,
that was like formula, like, because you had a
well,
baby and stuff then
and
too, just like diapers
diapers
and
and
formula.
wipes, and there
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
limits on what you could get. It was
Yes.
terrifying. My
Yeah.
mom was like getting diapers and wipes from them and like shipping them
Hmm.
to me because stuff was out around here. It was just terrifying.
It
Yeah, I
was, yeah.
can't believe that was just 5 years
I
ago.
know.
It
It feels
feels
like,
like a whole nother world ago.
hmm.
But yeah, there's still
Hmm.
carryover from all, and even the introduction of like Zoom became super
Yeah.
popular
Yeah.
and
It became
now,
a verb and it's like the Kleenex and it's like
right.
how the product
Yeah.
becomes the catch-all.
Yeah.
But what didn't something happen to Skype? Skype like isn't a thing anymore, right? Because
Oh,
I
it's
used to be a
not?
Skype, or is it, or it was bought
I
out, but I
don't
feel like it
know.
was in the news in one way or another.
Man,
But
it missed its prime time then.
well, I think I don't know. Don't quote me on any of this.
Oh, okay.
But
We'll look up the history of Skype and
yes, for
its downfall.
episode 9.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'll do a video essay, The Rise and Fall of Skype.
Everyone will be
Get the clicks.
so excited to listen to your Skype analysis.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're probably gonna quickly hear a little bit of a Camden, but I think Brian caught him.
Oh.
Anyways, um,
Anyways, where are
yeah,
we?
I one of my things that I've started going back to the idea of the away message and just unplugging, at least for a
Hmm.
time, is on Sundays, because that's really the one day, especially right now during band season, that we are all four together for an extended
Hmm.
period of time. Um, Later in the afternoon, Brian teaches lessons, and then I tutor in the evening. But in the morning, up until Lily's nap time, like that's time that's for us. And
Hmm.
so I've been really intentional right now with the weather nice, it's helped of doing like outside nature,
Hmm.
screen-free Sundays. Um, and maybe we were kind of doing that before, but
Hmm.
like not even, a cartoon on in the morning or something. Although I
Hmm.
really don't put the TV on for Camden in the morning. It's just when Lily naps that he gets a chance to watch. But just those intentional, like
Yeah.
we are unplugged, we are
Hmm.
unavailable on Sundays. I'm still even struggling. Like I have my phone because I'm taking pictures.
Hmm.
That's one area that I'm going to have a hard time with not having my phone on me all the time, is because I do take so many pictures, but do I need to? Like,
Hmm.
I don't know. I struggle now with that. I have so that thousands and thousands, tens of thousands, maybe hundreds. I have to go through my library. I don't know, of photos.
Yeah.
And maybe that's even become a compulsion now. It's like, I have to take a photo. I don't know.
Yeah, and I have lots of thoughts on that too. Of just like how it came up in some of my research in my dissertation, but like the invention of the personal camera and how that totally changed our expectations for like how we document family
Mm,
life, and that
yeah.
it is like an expectation, and whether that's like at the end of every event we're gonna stand and pose and we have to do this thing. I don't care if you're actually happy, you're gonna smile.
Yeah.
Even though I guess the old timey pictures there weren't a lot of smiles, which is always fun to do too.
No, they had to stand still
Uh-huh.
for so
Yeah.
stinking long. It's like nobody can hold a
Yeah.
smile for 3 hours.
Yes. But yeah, just that like how that built this expectation of needing to document every every moment in life and what happens if we don't. Which for me, for like it's almost a matter of like trusting our own memory or not. Like I think
And
that's
I
the fear for
don't.
me. Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't.
Yeah, it's like, well, I want to remember this, so I need to take a picture because otherwise it's
Yeah.
just fleeting.
Yeah.
Um,
And I want to
and
pass those pictures on to my kids.
yeah, yeah.
But now in a digital, like, how
What's gonna happen to
am I
that? Yeah,
handing you a hard
yeah,
drive? Like,
yeah,
here, I
right?
hope this is compatible with your iMac 79, like here's this
Yes,
hard drive that was
yes,
formatted in
yeah,
2025.
yeah.
I hope in 2055 you can
Oh
plug it
my
in.
God, that's a made up year. That's
Oh,
like
Camden's class
sci-fi.
of 2038.
Stop.
Yeah,
What's that make violets? That would be 5 more years from that, 43.
dude.
2043.
That is wild.
That
Yeah,
is. I mean,
year
yeah.
2000 was yesterday. How is my kid graduating in 2038? It's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean,
You better
maybe
start
that's
working on that
another.
backdrop right now.
I will. I will. Backdrops for every occasion to
Mhm.
photograph in front of. Yeah, maybe that's a topic we could
Yeah.
do.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
because that really, there are so many things to think about
Hmm.
with how are we documenting
Yeah.
our lives
Yeah.
as moms and
Yes.
millennial moms and using the
Hmm.
technology to do it
Hmm.
and not trusting my memory.
You mean you're
So,
not taking a sketch pad out to the nature preserve and
my stick figures are pretty good, but yikes.
I did know this, and so I was on Instagram today and saw your pictures from your adventure this morning, and Lily's getting the like curly moppy Camden hair. I can't
Oh
believe
yeah.
it. I don't think I've really seen it doing quite
Yeah,
its
she's got some
thing.
wild hair.
Yeah.
I've started doing like a top ponytail.
Hmm.
It's not as long to really, so it's just like this pineapple topper basically
Yeah,
on her
I always
head.
had the broccoli. That's what we called my little
The
side
broccoli.
ponytail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's there, but yeah, it's very curly just
Yeah.
like Camden's was.
Yeah.
I do miss he had just these perfect little ringlet curls.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
gosh.
remember
But
his first haircut. I feel like I cried.
I definitely did. I definitely did. Yeah. Oh man, memories. Memories that I have on my phone. But good luck finding it because I take tens of thousands of pictures an hour, so it's like scrolling endlessly to find this one picture.
But it's more than the pic. Like
I
obviously you
know.
do have the memories, and
I do.
if
I
that's an
do.
aid to help unlock those things in us, like I'm okay with that. I,
Yeah. But it's more, I think I do it even more for them because I think about
yeah,
myself.
yeah,
I like going back and
yeah.
watching our home video. They're on VHS, but our
Hmm.
home videos and like at least in our family, my dad did not like it's just Jesse,
Yeah,
my sister Jesse,
yeah.
Jesse and I interacting, and he's not
Hmm.
talking. It's just like
Hmm.
a documentary crew is
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
and he's not getting into the
Yes.
into the mix. And it's fun because
Yeah.
it's just this little glimpse into what
Hmm.
life in the early 90s was.
Especially the ones that aren't like special occasion. Like, yeah, it's fun to watch the birthday parties and see what you
Right.
got for Christmas and stuff. But then the ones where it is just like, oh, a random Tuesday night,
Yep,
baby Helen crawling
out in the
around,
front
grabbing
yard.
the outlet plugs out of the wall. And
Yeah.
just talking about that one recently.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
yes.
man.
No, and that reminds me that have I told you about Violet's photo book? My mother, Mitch's mom found this for us, my mother-in-law, and gave it to us to fill up for daycare. And it's like a baby-friendly photo
Oh,
album. So it's like a crinkly book, but then it's got all the picture slots so we could
that's
print out
smart.
the pictures of us with her because they recommended having, a family photo, but of course I couldn't just pick one. So
No. Yeah,
I
how
thought that
can
was
you?
really neat. And I had it out at the pediatrician's office because it was in the baby bag. And when we were sitting waiting, I had her on my lap and was looking at the pictures. And when the doctor walked in, she was like, oh, I love that. I love that you don't have your phone out. I was like, yeah, millennial mom thoughts. Listen to it. We're
Trendy
on this
now.
delightful moral high ground where
Yeah, I know. Oh, that's no, that's such a fun
yeah,
idea.
no, I was like, I had never seen that. I love this.
That's really cute.
I don't know if it's just sat on her little cubby at daycare, so I don't know if they've actually pulled it out yet, but I love that it's
Yeah.
there as an option.
Yeah.
And okay, last thing too, because I saw this, I got a very targeted ad on Instagram, like
Oh,
literally after
yeah.
I had been talking about this photo album. So in the ways that like creep me out of like I've never searched this thing.
That is
Just I was
so
talking to the
creepy.
pediatrician and now I'm getting ads for a
Uh-huh.
monthly service where you
Uh-huh.
send them their like your monthly snapshots and they make these
I've
kid-proof
seen
books. I
those.
think those
Yep.
are really cool. I think they're
Yeah,
really overpriced and I could probably do it myself or come up
I
with
think that too.
other means. Like I don't need to outsource this to the random internet thing, but I do think it's cool.
It knows. It knows that you would
I
like
know, I
it.
know. I'm probably gonna get it again now.
I'll
Next,
probably start getting
yeah.
it. I never searched for it and it's yeah. I would like someone. I wish that we could ask someone in the internet how how does it know when you've never typed it, when you've only talked about it, how does it know? Because that has happened and it's happened more than
Hmm.
once.
Hmm.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I gotta unplug Google. It's probably Google. She's listening. Oh man, what a
It's
creep.
always listening.
Anyways,
Anyway,
wow, wow, the
a little
list.
too much.
Too much,
I got a
too
little
much.
too close.
Go to bed, Google. Um, well, how do we
Well,
wrap up
anyway, oh gosh.
unplugging
We'll have to just
from the
unplug from
internet?
this Zoom and do our best and
Maybe not every episode has a solution, people. It's
it's
yeah,
yeah.
we just talk about it. Maybe you can send us your solutions.
Hmm.
How are you limiting your phone use, smartphone use, your
Hmm.
screen time? What are you doing? What has worked? Is this a problem for you? Are you like,
Hmm.
what's wrong with you? Why can't you just unplug?
Or not. And are
Shoot.
you happy with your life? And can you teach us how to just stop caring and get
Yeah.
over it? I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
No. Yeah. So,
Contrary to
uh
everything I just said.
take advantage of our email,
Yes.
millennialmomthoughts.podcast
Maybe we
at
should get a
gmail.com.
maybe the solution is that we need a PO box because now we're just feeding into the we're having people get on the internet.
Oh. Do you know the
Hypocrites,
Do you know the
man.
only PO box? I actually have one PO box memorized, and this will be a nice little, hopefully, walk down memory lane for the 90s
Yeah.
kids. And I'm gonna even kind of sing it. It was on Nickelodeon. Write to me, Stickly, PO Box 963, New York City, New York State, 10108.
And I think you have sung that for me before
Yeah.
because I think I shared that I know the Zoom, come on and Zoom, the one which was on PBS. I don't think I know the full address. It's in
I'll
here
never forget it.
somewhere, but I do know the zip code to Boston, Mass. 02134. Send it to Zoom. So if I ever need to send something to Boston, I don't
At
have to
least
look
you've
up
got
the zip
that.
code. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's, I mean, I guess maybe I'll write to Stickly. Maybe the PO box is still there. You know
That's
what?
the only
I'm
one way
gonna
to
do
find
that.
out.
I'm gonna write to
Do it.
Stickly,
Do it.
and I'm gonna see
Podcast
if I get
experiment.
anything back.
Yeah.
There's no way that's still a thing,
It's
but people know it. It's still,
yeah.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna see what
Oh my gosh, I
happens.
can't wait. I cannot wait.
Suspense. Stay
Dun
tuned
dun dun. On the
to
next
get a
episode
return to
of
sender. Return to sender address no longer
Yeah, but
exists.
only if Stickly has opted into that or paid for return post. There's something
Oh,
like this. We just hit our 1 year anniversary in the new house, and
okay.
we quickly learned that like despite what the internet tells you, if you write like not does not live here, return to sender or whatever, they don't do that unless they already paid for like additional post or
Oh,
something like that. I don't
where
know.
does it go then?
They just leave it in your mailbox and then you have to
Oh,
deal with it. And
oh man.
yeah.
Well, here goes
So
another
and
episode.
then you feel
Learning the
really sad
post
when
office.
we've gotten birthday cards because they had like several kids and all year we keep getting cards from like this one address that it's like, can't you just because of yeah, no.
Oh no.
Yeah, which makes me feel sad, but
And you can't open it because it's a felony.
like exactly.
And on our next episode, we talk to Helen from
From
jail.
jail. Dun-dun.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Oh my gosh. Well, I
Okay,
don't,
we're
yeah, I
done.
don't,
Oh, we'll catch you on the flippity flip.
there it is. Thank you very much.